Hey, curious minds. Why do Aries always fight so hard to be first? And what are they really trying to prove? They charge ahead with fire. No holding back, no second guessing. But what's really going on inside? Beneath all that energy, there's a side they don't often show. A restless part. Always moving. Always hungry for the next win. But it's never just about the win or being first. There's something deeper they keep hidden. In this video, we'll get real about Aries, their strength, their drive, their dark side, and that secret craving they rarely talk about. Whether you're an Aries or just zodiac-curious, let's see what's unique about this explosive fire sign. You've probably heard the usual traits. Aries are energetic, adventurous, and impulsive, always jumping into new things and taking risks. But why does Aries have this reputation for being constantly in motion, always pushing forward? Aries energy is the ultimate start button of the zodiac. As the first sign, it represents new beginnings, fresh starts, and that raw, fiery drive to dive headfirst into life. It's like the zodiac's warrior, charging into battle with no hesitation, sometimes without even checking if there's a battle in the first place. Aries doesn't wait for permission. It's raw, unfiltered energy, the kind that says, why overthink when you can just do? They thrive on challenges, learning by doing rather than planning. Aries energy doesn't wait. It's already out the door while everyone else is still tying their shoes. With their cardinal fire energy, Aries is always the first to jump in, relying on instinct rather than strategy. This outward-focused energy makes them bold, sociable, and always ready for action, but also impatient and impulsive. Ever seen someone jump into a game without knowing the rules? That's Aries, always charging forward. They react instantly, learn as they go, and trust they'll figure things out on the way. Aries isn't the type to just sit around dreaming. They take the lead and make things happen. That's exactly what they're here to do. Aries stands for drive, independence, and the strength to face obstacles head-on. They don't shy away from challenges. They thrive on them. Sure, they might stumble or act a little impulsively, but that's all part of their charm. Aries is linked to the head, which is why they tend to lead with it in arguments or even headbutts, facing headaches, sinus issues, or childhood mishaps from their daredevil nature. Their life motto? Act first, deal with the consequences later. And while this boldness is admirable, Aries' real challenge is learning when not to charge forward. As the saying goes, uncontrolled power is not power at all. Symbolized by the ram, Aries represents courage, resilience, and raw determination. Have you ever noticed how a ram's horns curve downward as it matures? That's Aries' journey. Young Aries is all about excitement and action, but over time, life teaches them patience and wisdom. Their experiences refine them, like iron forged in fire. They start off raw, but through trials, challenges, and maybe a few dramatic life lessons, they emerge stronger and sharper. What truly sets Aries apart is their instinct. Fire signs aren't just about action. They have an uncanny ability to sense the perfect moment to strike. But what makes their intuition unique is how immediate and direct it is. It's not a deep emotional feeling like water signs. It's a flash of knowing, like a flame instantly revealing what's really there. They don't just recognize opportunities before anyone else. They also see people for who they truly are, almost in an instant. Aries doesn't wait for approval or follow the crowd. Once they sense the right path, they charge ahead without hesitation. Picture a sprinter at the starting line, ready to launch the moment they feel the signal, even if no one else has heard it yet. And once Aries locks onto a goal, good luck trying to distract them. Their focus burns with the intensity of a wildfire, relentless and impossible to ignore. For Aries, becoming their true self isn't just a choice. It's an essential part of their journey to self-fulfillment. Life pushes them to take initiative, lead the way, and boldly chase their goals. Even if this drive isn't obvious in their early years, they inevitably find themselves in situations that force them to embrace it. Aries has a natural urge to break free from restrictions, which often sparks clashes with authority, particularly parents. Whether they openly rebel or quietly follow their own direction, their inner desire is always to push boundaries and carve a path that's uniquely their own. And that brings us to Aries' biggest life lesson: learning to balance their own desires with the needs of others. Their opposite sign, Libra, represents harmony, cooperation, and relationships, things that don't always come naturally to Aries. While Aries is focused on personal goals and immediate action, Libra reminds them that true strength also lies in compromise and understanding others. Every strength, when pushed too far, becomes a weakness. Aries shines with determination, passion, and explosive force. But what happens when that energy burns without direction? They often act impulsively, speaking or acting without thinking about the impact. Their style is straightforward. What they think is what they say. While they don't always intend to hurt anyone, their unfiltered energy can sometimes have that effect. Much like children, they say whatever comes to mind, driven by excitement rather than reflection. Putting themselves first isn't just selfishness. It's their nature. Their world revolves around their desires and goals. To them, a joyful Aries means a joyful world, so prioritizing themselves feels natural. But eventually, life demands balance. Aries can't always charge ahead. Life eventually slows them down, teaching patience, awareness, and the value of real connections. Aries' fiery energy can lead to sudden bursts of anger, especially when they feel blocked or things don't go their way. However, their anger fades quickly. They don't hang on to it and move on without thinking about past frustrations. As the first sign of the zodiac, Aries carries a childlike, unpolished energy. They throw themselves into life with pure enthusiasm, but sometimes that enthusiasm lacks foresight. Not every Aries expresses these traits the same way. Some embrace them fully, while others learn to temper their fire with self-awareness and maturity. Aries wears their fire on the outside, but deep down there's a quiet longing for softness, connection, and calm. They rarely admit it, even to themselves. They run fast, not just toward goals, but away from silence, because in silence things rise up. Old wounds, deep fears, parts of themselves they can't quite control. What they don't say? They're scared of losing control, of being seen unguarded, messy, real. But deep down, they crave it too. Because real strength isn't just about charging forward. Sometimes it's about letting go. And a part of them already knows that. Behind the boldness is a quiet wish, to be seen without armor, to be held without having to fight. This is what makes Aries deeply human, a warrior who also longs for peace. They don't just crave victory or the spotlight. They want to feel safe enough to drop the mask, to stop being the strong one and simply be held, to belong to something bigger, where they don't have to lead to matter. It's not a weakness to want this. It's the deepest kind of courage. True transformation begins when Aries allows deep union, when they merge their strength with another's, share what's real, and trust the power of connection. That's where their greatest power lives, not just in leading the charge, but in opening up and becoming whole, in finding safety not through control, but through trust. In discovering that real strength can feel like home, quiet, steady, and deeply familiar. As we wrap up, think of your birth chart like a matrix code, a metaphor for the hidden patterns beneath the surface. Just like a matrix reveals what's behind the visible world, your chart reflects the dynamics of your roots, the environment you were born into, and how they influenced your earliest perceptions. The sky's movements don't control your experiences, but point to cycles, challenges, and growth waiting to happen. If you're ready to explore more about yourself, join us on this journey. But remember,
all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
If you found this helpful, hit subscribe for more insights and grab your free self-discovery guide below. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.